Hello everyone, welcome to EDUHUNT video lecture series, and this is Lata Krishna from Biology Stream. In the previous sessions, we have discussed about the nervous system, one of the parts of nervous system and one of the types of nervous system, that is central nervous system. We know that nervous systems are of three types. Let us see the flow chart of types of nervous system. Nervous system. This system consists of, it is of three types. One is the CN, that is central nervous system, and second is peripheral nervous system, and then autonomous nervous system. These are the three different types of nervous systems as we have discussed in the earlier session. And in central nervous system, it consists of, it is formed of brain, and spinal cord. Brain and spinal cord. And the peripheral nervous system, it forms and it is formed of nerves. And the autonomous nervous system, it is sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. We have seen the structure of brain and functions also described. In this session, we are going to discuss about the peripheral nervous system. Let us get into the details of peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system, it consists of nerves, and the nerves from brain called the cranial nerves, and second type of nerves are spinal nerves. And these two nerves form the peripheral nervous system. And cranial nerves. Cranial nerves are the nerves that arise from the brain, not from the cranium. That we must understand. These nerves, they come from brain. And spinal nerves, they arise from spinal cord. And the cranial nerves which arise from the brain are of three types. These are sensory nerves, motor nerves, and mixed nerves. Nerves that come from brain are called cranial nerves, and these cranial nerves are of three types: sensory nerves, motor nerves, and mixed nerves. Let us see what are sensory nerves. Sensory nerves, they carry impulses from the sense organ to the brain. That is, for example, we have different sensory organs, sense organs, like nose, ear, tongue, eyes, like that. So, from these different organs, sense organs, the nerves are carried to the brain, that is central nervous system. So these are called the sensory nerves. The axons of neurons. We have seen what are axons. For example, this is imagine this as a nerve. These are dendrites. This is a neuron, and this part of the neuron is called the cyton, and this is the axon. So this part, this axon part, the axons of the neurons of this sensory nerves, they face the central nervous system, that is brain. They face the central nervous system, and in case of motor nerves, the case is reverse. That is, the impulse are carried from the central nervous system to the effectors, that is organs. That is, the impulses, they are carried from central nervous system to the effector organs. And the axons of such neurons, they face the effector organs and like muscles and glands. So let us write this. Nerves, cranial nerves. Cranial nerves, these are of three types: sensory, then motor, and then mixed. Sensory nerves, they carry impulses from sense organ to the central nervous system. In motor, the impulses are carried from the CNS, that is central nervous system, to the organ, effector organ. But in case of this, both the directions. And the sense organs, in the sensory nerves, the axon face the central nervous system, whereas the case when it comes to the motor nerves, the axons of the neurons, that is motor nerves, they face the effector organs like glands and muscles. Okay, the mixed nerves. In case of mixed nerves, they may be efferent, efferent. That is, mixed nerves, they carry impulses from the central nervous system and to and fro. That is, from the central nervous system and to the central nervous system. That is the case in mixed nerves, mixed type of nerves. The axons of few neurons, they face the central nervous system and the remaining face the effector organs. So, just now we have mentioned that the sensory nerves of cranial nerves, that is one of the cranial nerves, the neurons, they face the central nervous system. But in case of motor nerves, the neurons face the effector organs, that is sense organs, and also they carry the impulse from central nervous system to the effector organ. In case of mixed, both to and fro occurs, and some of the neurons of some of the axons of the neurons, they face the central nervous system and the remaining will face the effector organs. And the cranial nerves, I mentioned previously that they are not from the cranium. Cranium is a solid box. It is bone. Cranium is a bone. It protects the brain. Part of skull that protects the brain is the brain box, that is cranium. It does not give any nerves, but the brain that gives the nerves are called the cranial nerves. And the number of cranial nerves in anamniotes. What are anamniotes? The anamniotes have no amnion in their fetal membranes. Extra embryonic membranes will be present, but the amnion will not be present, will not be seen in yolk sac. Will be there, yolk will be there, but in the embryo, but the actual amnion that miss in the anamniotes. For example, fish and amphibians. But in mammals, reptiles, aves and mammals, the amnion, that is an extra embryonic membrane, that is present. Amnion is present. The extra embryonic membranes are amnion, chorion, allantois and yolk sac. These are the four membranes of the extra embryonic membranes present in the embryos of some animals. They are called the amniotes. In amniotes, the number of cranial nerves are 12 pairs, but in anamniotes, example are fish and amphibian. In anamniotes, 10 pairs of nerves are present, cranial nerves are present. 10 pairs of cranial nerves are present in anamniotes. These are fish and amphibians they are anamniotes. The other group of animals, reptiles, birds and mammals, they collectively called as amniotes. Yes, amniota group. They have 12 pairs of cranial nerves. This must be remembered. And the largest, that is thickest cranial nerve is the fifth nerve. It is called the trigeminal nerve. This nerve is also known as dentist nerve. It is the dentist nerve and it is the fifth cranial nerve, which is thickest cranial nerve, called the trigeminal nerve. Trigeminal nerve is the fifth cranial nerve and it is the thickest among other cranial nerves. And the longest and shortest cranial nerves. What are the longest and shortest cranial nerves? Vagus, in human especially, the 10th called the vagus is the longest cranial nerve. Note down, vagus is the longest cranial nerve, and the fourth, that is trochlear. Trochlear is the smallest or the shortest cranial nerve. The thickest cranial nerve is the 5th one, that is trigeminal nerve, and the shortest is the 4th cranial nerve, that is the trochlear, and the longest is the 10th cranial nerve, that is vagus. So, remember all these examples, all these cases like thickest, shortest and longest cranial nerves in the human central nervous system. And there are extra 6 ocular muscles in each eyeball. Ocular related to eye. So, in each eyeball, there are 6 extraocular muscles. They are not nerves, they are muscles in each eyeball. That is 4 rectors. They are called rectors. Superior, inferior, and then external, internal rectors. Out of 6 extraocular muscles, 4 are rectors, that is superior, inferior, and then external and internal rectors. And the 2 obliques, 4 are rectors and the 2 are oblique, that is superior and inferior obliques. And what are these? These are the ocular muscles. Because of this, we are moving our eyeballs and watching the scenes, and whatever we can see, we just able to move our eyelids because of these muscles. And let us see the difference between cranial nerves of frog and human being or mammal. In frog, as it is in anamniote group, it has 10 cranial nerves, 10. And in case of mammals, it has 12. We have seen that there are 3 different nerves in central nervous, cranial nerves: sensory, motor and mixed. The sensory nerves are 1, 2 and 8. So, first, second and 8th nerves are sensory nerves, both in case of frog as well as mammal. So, the next category of nerves are motor nerves. Motor nerves are third, fourth and 6th. Even cranial nerves of mammals also third, fourth, 6th, along with these 3, 2 more motor nerves are there, 11th and 12th. See the slide. 3rd, 4th, 6th, 11th and 12th. That is, these are motor nerves. And mixed nerves, remaining are the mixed nerves, that is 5th, 7th, 9th, 10th. Here 5th, 7th, 9th, 10th. The difference between frog cranial nerves and mammal cranial nerves is motor nerves. There are 3 motor nerves, but in mammal there are 5. And maximum cranial nerves are mixed type here, but maximum motor nerves are mixed type here, because here motor nerves are 5 pairs, but mixed nerves are only 4 pairs. Here motor nerves are in frog 3 pairs, but mixed nerves are 4 pairs. This is an important point. Okay, this is about the cranial nerves of frog and human being or mammals. In the next session, we'll discuss the remaining parts of the central nervous system. Peripheral nervous system, because central nervous system consists of only brain and spinal cord that we have discussed. But in peripheral nervous system, we have discussed only the cranial nerves. In the next session, we are going to discuss about the remaining nerves of the peripheral nervous system. Thank you.